UTC celebrated a major donation for the College of Business.
We look back at UTC's Founders Week.
And we remember the terrorist attack on September 11th with a special walk. I'm Heidi Breitmann.
And I'm Bailey Murphy. Your news starts now. Hundreds turned out for a campus celebration this week. The reason? A $40 million gift to the College of Business from Gary and Kathleen Rollins. Here's a look back.
I was impressed by the quality of the leaders, the educators, and students, and I came to respect the relationship the business college had fostered with the Chattanooga business community. UTC has become an exciting and impressive place to be, and I am humbled and honored that the business college bears my name, and I look forward to this association and our achievements in the future.
The Rollins celebration was part of Founders Week, honoring the start of the university in 1886. Chancellor Stephen Angle mentioned the ground-changing event in his State of the University address held in the courtyard of the new West Campus housing.
If I were to give this a title, it would be Constructing a Great University, and I think that will tie together the remarks today. I hope you'll leave here knowing that the state of the university is strong, the sky is limitless. UTC is positioned to build on our momentum that will propel us forward for many years to come. And today we celebrate the 132nd anniversary of the founding of our university. In 1969, the University of Chattanooga became part of the University of Tennessee, and we have grown and prospered since then. Much has been accomplished, but more remains to be achieved.
We will have more coverage of Founders Week after weather.
The Counseling Center is starting new support groups for the LGBTQ community and women of color. The support group for the LGBT+ community started up this past Monday and will continue to meet every Monday from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Both groups are designed for students to receive encouragement, support, self-esteem, and more. If you'd like more information, head over to utc.edu/counseling-center.
UTC faculty and students are creating a program that will train firefighters through virtual reality. Professor Li Yang worked with Dax Ledesma, worked on this project for young firemen to experience what the job is really like. This is a much easier way to train them without taking them to real fires. The program teaches critical thinking and problem-solving skills that the firemen will need in real-life situations.
It's very difficult to train firefighters now in live fire. So the young guys that are coming through the academies now are really limited in their ability to experience live fire before they're actually assigned to a company.
This is not.
The virtual reality fireman program will allow students to know how to react to certain situations, making them more effective in saving people's lives.
It's been 17 years since the terrorist attacks that took place September 11, 2001.
That's right, Bailey. And UTC's Army ROTC conducted their 11 hours of remembrance, walk/run on Chamberlain Field. Here's a look back at the event. Students met benefactors at the annual scholarship luncheon. It's a chance to celebrate academic generosity. Here's a look back.
It was exciting because I've worked so hard to be involved in both the community and on campus with my studies, and so to get a scholarship that embodies both of those things was an honor.
It is very significant because I'm an international student, which means I'm not eligible for a lot of federal aid or federal scholarships. So there was a period of time when I thought I couldn't afford college, and so it's private scholarships like these that make it possible for me to afford college and even go to college.
Founders Week is also a chance to celebrate the service of faculty and staff to UTC. Almost 200 employees were honored at the Service Awards. Sue Garrett, who has worked at UTC for 40 years, she manages surplus for the university. Congratulations to Sue and others for what they have given to UTC.
With Hurricane Florence hitting the Carolinas, I wonder, what impact will that have on us?
That's a good question. Luckily, our Brandon Robinson is here with an update on Hurricane Florence and for weather next week.
Thanks, anchors. Hurricane Florence made landfall as a Category 1 while it was initially predicted to be a Category 3 or higher. However, due to its size and the pace of its movement, the Carolinas are still in for strong winds, storm surges, and lots of rain. The path of Florence could still change and head back out into the ocean and strengthen. So what does that mean for us? Well, for now, we will have mostly sunny skies with a high of 92 and a low of 73. Saturday will be mostly sunny as well with a high of 90 and a low of 73. Then on Sunday, we will see a huge dip in the temperature with a high of 77 and a low of 69, with rain expected to begin in the Tennessee Valley. Next week, we will see temperatures head back into the 80s and 90s with rain possible throughout the week. That's it for the weather. Back to the news desk.
This week was Founders Weeks at UTC. Staff members gathered to play games and celebrate 132 years of UTC. The week was crammed with all sorts of events, competitions, and awards. If you missed out, don't worry. There's always next year.
UTC's Film Club is off to a great start this semester as more students join the organization. The Film Club shows different films each week, varying from genres like horror films to comedy and even documentaries. The club allows students to come together and meet other students who enjoy the same activity as them.
I'd say community, through and through. You know, I came to UTC not knowing a single person. I was a complete mystery, and I didn't have too many friends at the start, and it was a bit, frustrating and lonely. I didn't feel like my kind of ideas or hobbies were being celebrated until I came to Film Club, and just everyone was so warm and inviting. And
the UTC Film Club meets every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. in Brock Hall, room 201.
Lupton Library undergoes construction this year to become Lupton Hall. Lupton Hall will soon become a big part of the UTC campus, serving as an activity space for students. The building will be useful for all students on campus who are looking to join organizations on campus. It will house the Women's Center, Multicultural Center, offices for national students, and the College of Arts and Sciences. It will also feature savvy classroom technology and conference rooms for students to utilize. Lupton is set to start next summer and will be complete for the opening of spring 2020.
Tennessee State House candidates districts 26 through 30 have been invited by UTC to participate in a meet and greet. Mocs Go Vote, the League of Women's Vote of Chattanooga, and other organizations will co-host the meet and greet. The meet and greet is open to the public and will give the community the opportunity to learn about each candidate's platform. Each candidate will have their own table. It will take place in the Chattanooga room on September 24th from 5:30 to 7:30 in the evening.
The Mocs got wild in the suds last night as CAB threw its first ever foam party.
This is the first ever foam party. It's called the Monster Foamapalooza, and it's an alternative for a party that college students have. There's no drugs, it's a dry campus, and so it's a great time for students to enjoy themselves without any substance.
This was just the beginning of fun events that you can expect from CAB. To keep up with their events, follow them on Instagram at UTC CAB.
UTC's Department of History, in collaboration with the University of the South in Sewanee, is hosting a lecture titled The Lynching of Ed Johnson in Historical Perspective early next week. Johnson was an African-American man unfairly convicted of the rape of a white woman in 1906 and was later taken from jail by Chattanoogan's and hung from the Walnut Street Bridge. This lecture is the second of the 3 events in a series featuring esteemed historian Dr. Amy Wood. The presentation is being held Monday, September 17th at 5 p.m. in room 101 of Durthick Hall and is free to anyone in the public. The other 2 events in the series, a documentary screening and another lecture, are being held on Sunday, September 16th and Tuesday, September 18th at Sewanee. All 3 events will also be live streamed on the UTC History website.
The Disability Resource Center is working with the ARC to provide sensory-friendly times for students with disabilities. This will include special classes and quiet times for these students to exercise. We will have more on this story next week.
BSA kicked off their year with an open house Wednesday night which welcomed all students to join an organization. BSA, Black Student Alliance, Circle K, InterVarsity, and many other organizations displayed information of what their organization stands for and how to be involved, which all serves as a liaison between the university and African American students and encourages different groups to connect in an idea and activity. As a way to better engage each potential member, play bingo about history and fun facts of each organization. Many prizes were given out and along with students networking. You can check out more about the organizations and upcoming events on Mocs Inc.
Students received a warning about a phishing attempt on UTC's distribution lists last week. Hackers sent 3 email scams through UTC News, UTC Urgent, and UTC Safe and Secure. The email contained a link in a green box that said, "Click here to view the full message." By clicking the link, students were led to a site to be scammed or had their ID and password credentials taken. Individuals can post to the distribution list and have their passwords reset. If you see this email, do not click the link. Delete it immediately. For more information, call the UTC Help Desk at 423-425-4000. Mocs football eked out a win on Saturday.
Yeah, what a close game. Here's our Bailey Biddle with sports.
Thanks, ladies. UTC's football almost let the game against Citadel slip away. Our Jolie Poole has a story. Jolie?
The Mocs claimed their second victory of the season in an overtime game. Chattanooga trailed 28-21 in overtime when Tyrell Price scored on a 5-yard run. On the conversion, the Mocs went for 2, with Nunley taking the handoff on a reverse play and throwing to a wide-open Traberti in the end zone, putting Chattanooga on top 29-28 over Citadel on Saturday. Nick Tiano threw for 347 yards and 2 scores, both going to Nunley, who finished with 268 yards on 10 catches. Price ran for a pair of touchdowns as well, all in a team effort to put the Mocs off to a great season start at 2-0. The Mocs are away once again this weekend to face off at UT Martin. I'm Jolie Poole, now back to the studio.
All right, Mocs soccer continued their march through the regular season in a match up against Murray State. UTC gave the 3-time OVC champions all they could handle in a 2-2 draw. Catherine Meyer and Maggie Shaw scored their first goals of the season and gave the Mocs a lead in the second half. The Racers eventually evened up the score on a goal of their own in the 85th minute, and that was it for scoring. The Mocs followed up that game with a loss against Austin Peay and a win against North Alabama. Now sitting at 4-1, UTC hopes to get another win against Mercer on the 21st. The 4-7 volleyball team continued to struggle through their season in a loss against MTSU. The agonizing defeat saw the Mocs every set decided by less than 4 points. Despite outgaining MTSU in kills, hitting percentage, assists, and digs, the Mocs still ended up on the losing side. Michaela Gethro had a career-high 15 kills. The Mocs traveled to Louisville to take on the Cardinals on Saturday. The Cleveland Browns had signed big-name free agents like Jarvis Landry and drafted Heisman Trophy winner Baker Mayfield first overall. Cleveland felt like they could, for the first time in 18 games, snap their losing streak and win a game. The good news is for Cleveland is that they erased their losing streak that had dated back to 2016. The bad news for them was that they only tied with Antonio Brown and the Pittsburgh Steelers 21-all in their first game of the season. The Browns continue to fight the good fight next week against the Saints this Saturday. And that's it for this week in sports. Back to the desk we go.
Hundreds gathered in Coolidge Park for a festival they won't forget. The Moon Ribbon Festival was a 3-day festival that lasted from Friday until Sunday. Started by Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, the festival started in Memphis and migrated here to Chattanooga. With headliners such as the Head and the Heart and the Avid Brothers, the festival was a huge success for Chattanooga.
Paul Manafort, who was President Donald Trump's campaign chairman, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy in exchange to avoid the second trial. He was also agreeing to cooperate with Justice Department and Robert Mueller's investigation. In return, the other charges will be dropped if he cooperates. That does it for this edition of Mocs News. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to check out our website, mocsnews.com, to continue following the news throughout the week.
And while you're there, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a great weekend from all of us here at Mocs News. And while you're there, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Tinder, Facebook. Who put that?